the aux cord and crank up the volume. Figgy Figs in the driver's seat. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. It's time for Figgy's Mixtape. Presented by Shariff Injury Lawyers, the official personal injury law firm of the Houston Texans. On Sports Radio 610.
Yes, it is the Mixtape presented by Sheriff Injury Lawyers on In the Loop Sports Radio 610, presented by Sheriff Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in an accident, let the Sheriff team fight for you. Visit callthesheriff.com today. Happy Tuesday to everyone out there. So here's a story about a man who robbed a place where he worked. And I thought it was kind of crazy, but I guess I might have to pull a Reggie towards the end of this after y'all hear this story and try to defend this man. I'm going to defend this man. I'm going to take the other side and try to defend this foolishness. Anyway, here's ABC 15 in Arizona with this story.
Police say this Phoenix man robbed his own workplace. Keandre Simmons accused of armed robbery and kidnapping, as investigators say he held two co-workers at gunpoint at this Scottsdale Shake Shack. He allegedly forced a manager to open the safe, took nearly $3,000 in cash, and then locked the victims in a cooler. Court paperwork says he then went on to destroy their phones and say the co-workers recognized his voice and knowledge of the store. Police arresting Simmons 2 days later when he showed up for his shift at the Shake Shack. Simmons is now held on a $100,000 secured appearance bond.
So the brother showed back up at work like, you know what, I'm going to act like nothing happened. And they was waiting for his ass right there. And
criminals are
stupid.
Dumb.
Stupid, man.
Go ahead, Finn.
Now, I will say this. I'm going to pull a Reggie. I'm going to try to defend the brother right here because I know y'all probably thinking, why would you show back up to work? Like, that's the stupidest thing you can do. I feel like he probably tried to play it cool, like it wasn't him, and let me try to go in and work like normal because that wasn't me that did all the robbing, but they recognize your voice. So I will defend him on that, him trying to go back to work like everything cool. But this was all so stupid, man.
Right, if you don't go back to work, now we know it's you.
Yes. Yes, now they looking for me. So I'm sure you probably
can just see him. Billy, is that you?
Imagine him,
whatever the heck his name was.
Imagine him going in. Hey, Tom. Hey, Billy. What's going on? Right. Ready to work. Ready to make some burgers.
And when you said somebody, robbed his, I don't know why I went to he took reams of paper or, no, he robbed.
He literally robbed him at gunpoint.
Yeah. Yes.
And just imagine, and look, I never want to go through this, being robbed. I've been robbed before. But I'm just imagining them just getting robbed, and they're like, "Man, that voice sounds familiar. I think that's Chuck. That sounds like Chuck, don't it? Yeah, I recognize his voice." And then he come back in. He come back in 2 days later. Hey, what's going on, Larry? How you doing?
Wait. He robbed the Shake Shack, but it's the one that he worked at.
Yes.
He couldn't find another one to rob at. He couldn't find.
They're
another
probably
place.
all laid out about the same.
I would imagine so.
Right?
I would think so.
Again, criminals are dumb.
And
dumb.
I think the sad part about this is, as you heard in the story, he had them go to the safe. It was only $3,000 in there, man. You doing all this for $3,000?
He should understand some level of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nah, it was stupid, but I kind of get him on why he decided to go back to work for a shift, try to make sure everything is somewhat normal, but that was just
he tried to
stupid.
be coy with it.
Yeah, but
wait, we got robbed? Wow, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, it's stupid.
He didn't do enough recon.
Yeah,
he didn't do enough recon.
Yeah,
which is problematic because you at work all the time.
Yeah, just have somebody else do it, man, and act like you just don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but that's someone he has to split the money with.
Well, that's true. Well, better than going to prison now.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah.
It's a mixtape presented by Sheriff Injury Lawyers on In the Loop Sports Radio 610. So I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of old antiques and artifacts from, I guess, World War I and Civil War, stuff like that. Just cool little antique type stuff. Imagine having something like that in the office and end up having to call the bomb squad over it.
Oh, my goodness.
So here's KNS 5 News with the story on this situation.
What started as a unique office decoration turned into a visit from a bomb squad.
An Atascosa County man learned the Civil War relic he kept on his desk for years was actually a live explosive device.
It's a good thing somebody didn't use it for an ashtray or something. That's all I got to say.
Steve Martin's talking about this cylindrical iron chunk of history, another office decoration, or so he thought. Monday morning, he was at work checking the trucking schedule. He made some small talk with one of the drivers who shared an alarming suspicion.
Oh, he says, that could be a live ordnance there. You know, he said, I've had military training, and he said, that really looks like the real deal.
To find out if it was the real deal, Martin rang the Atascosa County Sheriff's Office. They called in the explosive ordnance team from Lackland Air Force Base. During the inspection, Martin's mind was all over the place.
I thought it was some sort of a dummy, you know, and, you know, now I'm thinking, well, the thing's making a dummy out of me, right? Who's the dummy here? And he came back out and told us what it was, and it was from the Civil War. And all this time I'd had that antique bomb there that potentially could have exploded. And my son was the one that found it while fishing on the Guadalupe River and gave it to me.
Holy smokes. Was it live? So it was live?
It was live, and I'm sure you probably wonder. I'm sure you probably wondering what the hell did y'all do with it. Well, this is more from that story. This is what I guess the bomb squad and all that stuff had to do with it.
Deputy Chief Eric Kaiser says the EOD team took the Parrot round to Camp Bullis and disposed of it in a safe manner. As for Martin,
but I feel like this was a Confederate bomb altogether. I'd like to have it back.
He's hoping the artifact can somehow be preserved, especially since many of his ancestors served in the Civil War.
I really did feel a direct connection to this.
But in the meantime, Martin does plan to be a bit more vigilant in the future before bringing home his next Riverside souvenir.
Well, I'm going to be careful, you know, what I pick up. Yeah. If somebody just hands you something, might be a hot potato.
I like that last line right there.
Not at all. Not at all.
How many? This is wild. How many of those are out there? First of all, it's got me thinking about that. But his son found it fishing in the Guadalupe, and it was a live bomb from
and he
Civil War.
Yeah, he had it all that time too. Man, that's a little scary.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
This is a dumb thought. If it was live and with everything that has happened since the Civil War, it ain't gone off yet, should I have been all that worried about it?
Well, he said. Well, see, that's what the one part that they didn't say. They said they disposed of it, which I assumed means they exploded it, but maybe not.
No, I mean they had to.
Maybe they took the trigger. I mean I'm forgetting the term, but you know, basically the trigger off of it. You know, one of those things. So yeah, I thought they exploded it.
Yeah, I mean maybe so, but I was just like, maybe this, you know, if nothing had set it off at this point, maybe in a natural state it wouldn't be the case. But this is yet another reason, because I've seen people with like live hand grenades not realize that they were live in their possession. This is why I have no particular interest in anything that is explosive, even if you're telling me that it's not currently explosive. I'm good on it. I don't need that. I don't need that at all.
Yeah, so thank goodness nothing really happened, but just imagine that sitting around in the office or in the studio. It's just like, hey, you know that's a real bomb, right? So
better not be.
Yeah, so good thing nothing happened, but salute to that guy.
Yeah.
It's a mixtape presented by Shariff Injury Lawyers on In the Loop Sports Radio 610. We got to pour one out for a local bar here. Actually, two local bars here that are no longer with us. Got to give a shout out to Kamp Houston. They closed their doors on Sunday. That's a place I used to go to whenever I had people in town and all that stuff. And then salute to the Address, another place that a lot of people, I would say, I guess a lot of tourists used to come into town and go to these spots. I used to call it like touristy spots. Because you have some locals that be there once in a while and stuff like that, but I feel like a lot of out of town people used to go to these spots here, and that last spot was the Address. And here is a guy by the name of OGP Dub on Instagram, and he decided to pull up to the Address one last time to kind of support them, you know, on their way out. And this is what it sounded like.
See, this is why the Address is closing down. Because when everybody pops out and is trying to support y'all want to try to finesse us, charging $100 to park, bro, $150 to park on your last day is ludicrous. This is why y'all closing. Got me f***ed up. $100 to park, me, P-Dub. Hey, man, I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. You hear me?
Yeah,
I mean, he's not wrong.
And he's
not wrong.
Man, that been my issue, and me and B. Scott talked about this all the time. With the address, man, like I'm not going over there paying to park over there and on Old Spanish Trail, man.
Yeah.
Like, dog, it is rough over there. This ain't the heights. Like, I have an issue just paying to park anywhere, but this one, I'm not paying to park in this area, man. Like, and they charging that much. It's so many times I attempted to go to this place, and they trying to charge $30. Nope, like not in this area, man. So look, I don't know.
You ever been to the address?
I've been there twice.
Who, me?
You've been there twice. How about you?
I have not been. Look, man, I'm not really a club guy personally to begin with, but yeah, man, places that feel like they taxing, man, that's not really my get down.
I wouldn't pay $100 for parking for like a playoff game. I'm serious.
No.
I wouldn't. I'd walk. I'd take one of the little pedicabs or whatever. They're one of those things. $100 to park at a club.
And they did this, and so they closed their doors, I want to say, on Sunday. And so from the time I went there, they never charged no $100. But I guess this time, because they knew everybody was coming out there, I guess they upped the price to like $100, $150. That is insane. And if you know that area, that's Old Spanish Trail.
That's right.
It be going down.
Nicest.
Yeah. And look, I ain't trying to put B. Scott on the spot, with this, but he said he just seen somebody get shot at over there.
Yeah.
So I'm not paying no $100 to, with all that stuff going on over there. That is insane.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's one of those, they definitely try to hit for their final lick, but I think it's also worth noting, right? It's not quite in the vein of what we're talking about here, but it's also worth remembering that hospitality is not easy, not just in this day and age, but just generally, whether it's a restaurant that you like where we see those turnover. But even, man.
Not for $100.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, not for $100 parking.
But these clubs, man, even these clubs, right, man, like a 9-year run is a long run.
No, that is true.
For a club.
And Camp Houston seemed to be popping. I wonder what happened there.
I think that the finances on it, whether it's like real estate, figuring out your rent and all that, it becomes more untenable over time. And so it's one of those things where I'm going to use this to pivot off. Like, hey, if you have a place in more of the hospitality area of range, appreciate it, because it's not a guarantee that these things are here forever, man.
Like, how many clubs have lasted more than 9 years? Not a lot.
Yeah.
Can't say that there have been.
Yeah. And I was a fan of Camp Houston. I like Camp Houston a lot. I went there a couple times by myself, just on the happy hour note, and just kind of chilling or whatever. And then family come in, we go to Camp Houston. So I did like Camp Houston, but the address, they wouldn't charge no $100 to park. I ain't never paid that much to park anywhere. So yeah. So that always been my beef with the address. But hey, pour one out for him. Salute. It's been a good run, man. It's been a really good run with those spots.
There you go. That's another fantastic edition of the Mixtape. You catch it every weekday at 1:20 p.m. right here on Sports Radio 610. If you see something Mixtape worthy, hit our guy up on social media at the Figgy.